know, like, it makes you look dead, but also, like, cute.
I really want to know your favorite vampire series. Let me know in the comments. Personally, I have watched Vampire Diaries in the originals at least 5 times all the way through. This look is like if Catherine from Vampire Diaries entered the Twilight universe and decided to experiment with some more creative makeup.
Just starting off with some primer, as always, bringing it around my eye and underneath as well, because I am going to be adding quite a bit of eyeshadow underneath my eye for this look. I wouldn't say it's 100% necessary, but I really wanted to use About Face Beauty's Scream of Consciousness liquid eyeshadow. If I was doing a red smoky eye, I could just apply this all over my lid and blend it out, but for this look, I'm starting with kind of like a smoky eyeliner shape. Normally I would start with a crease, but lately I've really been enjoying starting with the eyeliner, especially for this type of look, and then you can kind of work your way out from there. I'm buffing out that red, trying to get a smooth blend, bringing it onto my lid and along my lower lash line. It doesn't have to be perfectly blended because I am going to be going in with eyeshadow over top. Most of the products I show and use online are gifted to me, but this one was not. I bought it myself. I bought a few of them. I wish I was on About Face's PR list. I would love to have every color, but I just wanted to point that out because I did buy this with my own money and I think it's a really great product. I recommend it. It's time to start adding in some smokiness. I'm using a light dusty mauve blush from Blend Bunny's Bare Cheeks palette. Because it is formulated as a blush, I do have to add a few layers to get the same pigment that an eyeshadow would give. I'm bringing it out pretty far. That's actually why I didn't do my brows, because I wanted the freedom to blend this eyeshadow up into my brow without worrying about messing it up. I could be biased because mauve is one of my favorite colors, and I used to do a dark purple and mauve smoky eye every day in high school. But I think it's really the perfect color for vampire makeup looks. This blush is working really well for me because I'm so pale, but if you have darker skin than me, you could also look into a deeper mauve color or a burgundy shade. I'm bringing this underneath my eye to really accentuate my eye bags. In my opinion, some good eye bags are very necessary for any vampire makeup look because number one, you're dead. Number two, you're craving blood, like you're bloodthirsty. Your eyes are gonna be a little sunken in and, you know, red. In my mind, the ultimate vampire makeup is a very delicate dance between warm tones and cool tones. I'm using gray to add in depth, but I'm adding it very lightly. Like if I added more pigment, it would be much darker, but I'm adding very little amounts at a time to achieve the level of depth that I'm looking for. I'm concentrating the gray throughout both of my creases below and above my eye. In the top crease, I'm avoiding putting the gray directly in my outer V area, so from the center of the crease, I'm blending it out and downwards towards where the red is. I'm trying really hard to achieve the perfect color that I had in my vision of this look, which is like a dusty-ish, purplish, gray color. So I am going back and forth a lot with this shade and then the blush from the previous step. Adding light layers of eyeshadow over top of one another is a great way to mix them together and create a new color. Rather than just smacking on gray pigment over top of the mauve, I'm really going back and forth so that they mix together and create that new color that I want. I'm using red eyeshadow to go back over that smoky eyeliner shape. At this point, I can blend it out a little further and really perfect the wing. The reds that I'm using for this look and also the gray color are from the Blend Bunny Machina palette. Unfortunately, she has recently announced that she's discontinuing it. At the time of filming and editing this, it is June, but it's going to be a few months ahead, when you're watching this, so I'm not sure if it's still going to be available. There's definitely similar shades in the OG Blends palette and also in the Ellis collaboration palette. I'm bringing the red all along my lower lash line, extending it past my inner corner a little bit because I'm going to be adding eyeliner there later on, and then of course packing it along my upper lash line as well. From there, I'm adding more red to each side of my lid, so I'm starting from my inner corner and bringing that red up, then blending it towards the center of my lid, and then doing the same in my outer V area, kind of extending that red into my crease a bit and then blending it into, the center of my lid, which I did not apply any more red to because it's time to add sparkles. This glittery eyeshadow is from Flower Nose Weeping Angel palette. It's one of my absolute favorite eyeshadows. I just think it's a perfect, fine, glittery topper. I'm concentrating it in the middle of my lid and bringing it up into my crease and above it just a little bit. I'm also bringing it underneath my lower lash line. I'm not sure what to call that piece of skin. Is it your lower lid? I might have to Google that. The results are in, and it is in fact my lower lid. I'm not bringing the sparkles all the way up to my lower lashes or applying them in the crease below my eye. I'm putting it between these two spaces and then carrying it out below the red. I'm using just a touch of shimmery red pigment. This is Solar from Sugarpill, and I'm just using it to blend that transition between the red matte eyeshadow and the glittery eyeshadow. For my waterline, I'm using Maybelline's Rusty Terracotta Gel Eyeliner. I'm gonna be honest, that's not a good name. Don't put rusty in the name of an eyeliner. But it is a really great color, and I think it matched perfectly with this look. NYX Epic Ink Waterproof Eyeliner is my go-to for the inner corner point because the tip is so precise and easy to use, and also it's waterproof, so it stays put and doesn't smudge around. I'm adding a little bit of that red liquid eyeshadow that I used earlier underneath the point because I wanted a bit more waterproof product in this area just to prevent further smudging. After using a tiny bit of concealer to sharpen it, I'm adding some more of the shimmery eyeshadow just to this little area underneath the inner corner. Using black eyeshadow, I'm creating a very thin wing. Then I'm just going back in with the red eyeshadow to smoke it out. After doing my eyes, I went to go eat dinner and took like an hour-and-a-half break, and I really like to wash like around my mouth after I eat. So I decided to just remove my foundation and wash the bottom half of my face and then just reapply it. So that's what I'm doing here. This is just my regular foundation shade that I always use. I mix it up on my palette, but I'm gonna add some white foundation to my palette as well. This is from Indie Beat Cosmetics. I'm gonna be using that as a highlight, but first I'm just adding my regular foundation to my neck and chest. I'm painting on the white in the shape that I want my highlighted areas to be. It's kind of like a Y shape. I'm adding quite a bit of white because I'm also lightening like my overall skin tone at the same time. Blood is drained from my face, you know, I'm dead. I'm also highlighting the chest area, collarbones, the neck. Okay, so that is actually my sternocleidomastoid muscles that I am highlighting here. I'm using Fenty Beauty's Amber Cream Contour and trying to make it look like my collarbones are sticking out and the skin around them is a bit sunken in. I'm also contouring my jawline, which is kind of hard to see unless you tilt your head back. But another little trick you can use is pressing your chin down to accentuate your double chin, and that will kind of give you the line that you can use as a guide for the contour. I want my cheeks to have a hollowed out, chiseled effect, so instead of doing the contour curving upwards or straight, I'm curving it downwards slightly as I approach the corner of my mouth. And once I've blended out all that cream contour, I'm going in with my translucent powder and setting everything. I know vampires don't usually have blush, but I wanted to add just a little bit. I'm using the same Bare Cheeks palette that I used earlier on my eyes from Blend Bunny. Finally, I'm filling in my brows, and I'm pretty much just doing it the same as I always do. If you are trying to make your eyebrows look more vampy, I would say to try and emphasize the arch. Or you could go with the no eyebrow look. For some reason, I feel like the no brows really gives vampire. And I'm taking out the glittery eyeshadow from earlier to highlight my brow bone. For my falsies, I'm going with these faux mink lashes from Ardell. I also put on some lip gloss. This is Black Sugar from Blend Bunny. I filmed a short form eye makeup video for this look, so I just wanted something on my lips for the final shots, but I am removing it because it's time to add fangs. These are Scarecrow Vampire Fangs in the style Classic. I created a whole separate video focused on how to customize and apply these fake fangs. The link for that tutorial and the fangs are in my description. Once I'm done fitting the teeth, I can go in and add my lippie. I'm using Superstar Matte Ink from Maybelline in the shade Huntress. Using an eyeshadow brush, I'm basically applying this like a lip liner around the perimeter of my lips. I'm not filling in my lips, but I am applying a red liquid lipstick to the inner part to give the illusion of, you know, I was sucking on someone's neck, my lips got stained with blood. That's what happened. Can't help it. In between those two lip products, the red and the gray, I'm patting on some concealer. I wanted my lips to also be sparkly, so I went in with the eyeshadow that I used earlier, and then I remembered I had the perfect gloss in the back of my drawer. This is from Milani. It's called Cold Blooded. I'd love to know if you guys have any dupes for this. I've been trying to stay away from using Milani since their deplorable actions during the Heard Depp trial, so I don't really like promoting them, but this gloss is awesome. And if anyone else watching this does not believe Amber Heard, I encourage you to check out the Depp Delusion subreddit. Anyways, we can talk more about that another day. I really want to start talking more about other things that I'm passionate about besides makeup, but for now, we're adding some more vampire finishing touches. I'm using the darker purplish shade from the Bare Cheeks palette to add in some veins underneath my eyes. Usually I love to add veins all over my face, neck, and chest with vampire looks, but I'm going for a slightly different vibe with this one, so I'm just doing it under my eyes. I'm adding a teeny little bit of red in the corners of my mouth. Like I said, I was sucking on someone's neck and the blood stained. I like to think that my vampire alter ego is a man-eater. She likes to rip off the heads of abusive men and suck out all their blood. After drawing on the veins, I like to go back in and add a couple products over top, so I'm adding a bit more of that purpley blush and also some highlight on my cheekbones. Layering products on top really gives the illusion that the veins are underneath the skin and it looks much more realistic. And last but not least, we're putting on fangs. I was playing around. I added 2 pairs to my incisors, my canines. I was just having a grand old time with the fangs. Again, I will have the pairs that I'm wearing linked in my description and also the link to my video focused on customizing them. Here's the final vampire glam look. I am so happy with how it came out. I think the red and the gray together just looks awesome. Let me know what you think in the comments, subscribe, all that fun stuff, but don't leave because the video is not over yet. I waited until the very end because I was very concerned that I might destroy the entire look, but I wanted to create the glittery vampire skin from Twilight. I poured some glitter out onto my palette and then gave it a good shake and shimmy to really spread it out and create a thin layer. Honestly, I almost never use setting spray, but I thought it would be the perfect product to stick the glitter to my skin. Before it dries down and it's still damp, I'm using a very fluffy powder brush to stick on the glitter, and I'm doing it in sections because obviously the setting spray dries down and then it's not really going to stick. This is Crystal Cave glitter from Anastasia. It is no longer sold in stores, but I'm not going to waste the products that I already have, and it matched perfectly, so I'm using it. I'm just doing this look, in studio. I'm not going out to a party or anything, so I'm not 100% sure like how well this would stay for an extended period of time. You could probably apply the glitter to unset foundation, but I would definitely be careful with that or using any type of adhesive. You have to keep in mind the removal process. For me personally, I have acne and very sensitive skin, so I didn't want to be harshly rubbing the glitter around my face to remove it. It's just a recipe for disaster if you get like glitter in a pimple or a scab or something. Like, that really freaks me out, so definitely be careful. When I took this makeup off, I did it very gently in the shower with a couple rounds of makeup removing balm. I was honestly so impressed with the effect of the glitter all over my skin. Like, come on. I look like freaking Edward's sister. This is the skin of a killer, Bella. The skin of a killer. Bella, where the hell have you been, loca? Alright, I just have to rewatch Twilight. Editing this video is making me need to rewatch Twilight immediately. I would love to see this look on your beautiful face. Tag me if you recreate it. You can also send it to me like through DM if you don't have a public profile. I will still look at it. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you have an amazingly fun and safe spooky season. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.